Testing, testing, one, two. Testing, testing, one, two. My phone was feeling it. I don't know. I think that was crazy though. Like I did a little like 1 minute short just to see what it was giving, and it was working fine. So I'm gonna give y'all a second again to come on here because I want to go ahead and do this video now. So I may have to leave y'all for a minute because if I'm expecting I'm expecting somebody, so I don't want to necessarily end the live, but I may have to go to the door and get those items, get those things, because I'm expecting some groceries. But I do want to give y'all a second to come on here. Can you hear me? Click the thumbs up button if you could hear me talking. Leave a message in the chat to say, "Hey, I hear you." You're not talking just to hear yourself talk. I hear you. I can hear you. We hear you loud and clear. So I want to have a accountability conversation for myself in this rising. I want to be transparent about some things. I want to just open up because I do believe that, being honest about what's going on with you is a way to liberate yourself. It's also a way to just acknowledge that you are ready for a shift. And as I've said in a multitude of videos, this period represents the shift for me. So I'm like toward the end of the year. Um, this is not an abnormal thing for me, to like give a little slide down into the valley, at a certain time of the year. Typically around October, because October is a time of grief, a time of heaviness because of the holidays, because of love's lost. Um, I did test positive over 20 years ago in October. You know, my grandmother's birthday is in October. I was married in October, and my husband is no longer on the physical plane. So yeah, the fall season, the fall months began for me um, a decline, if you will, a and I think most of society, well, at least in this matrix, because a lot of people are Catholic, and I think when they have Lent, like in February, I think they have it in February, like after Mardi Gras, they go through a season of Lent where they like fast. Like, I think that's them acknowledging that the year really hasn't begun yet. Like, that's them secretly saying, yeah, we're gearing up, we're fasting, and we're purging ourselves of the things that we did in the last cycle. I think that's what Lent is about. I think they have like Ramadan around that time. So I think in the religions there are, people who are purging themselves of the things that they did in the last cycle. Like they are, like people are legitimately saying, okay, I was here, I was doing this, and I'm no longer here. I'm no longer doing that. I'm no longer in that space. But they they were in that space. Like they were having that moment. They were doing those things. But then, they had Ramadan and they were able to purge themselves of that. They had Lent and they were able to purge themselves of that. And like even in the spiritual realm, like they they have a fast before um the spring equinox comes, or during the spring equinox, like people have a fast. But I'm trying not to get too much into the topic until somebody can come on and say that you actually hear me. Because I see like one person jumping on and then jumping off. I'm trying to make sure y'all can hear me now. Can y'all hear me? Or does YouTube have me muted? Because I see the dots at the bottom of the screen going up and down when I'm talking. So I feel like you can hear me, but nobody has come on to let me know whether you hear me or not. Yeah, but in a minute, I'm going to jump off of here. And I may have to revisit this video for a later time because it's like saying it's giving the ancestors, it's like, no, not right now, Fad. That's what it's giving. Because nobody is jumping on, coming in the comment section to let me know. And I've been on here for 7 minutes. So maybe I need to get, like, that was crazy why y'all couldn't hear me. Like, that was literally great. That was absolutely crazy why y'all couldn't hear me. And it's giving, can y'all hear me now? I fell down and it's overrated and somehow played out. I fell down to earth. Like literally, that's crazy. Let me see.
$1,000 loan, and the money was in my account within 20. The money was in my account within 20. The money was in my account.
Okay, so yeah, I can't. Okay, so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and start talking. Try to get some talking in before I have to end this. But anyway, so I've been in a season of minding my business. I've been in a season of self medicating and minding my business, and I haven't been romantically activated. Like I haven't been doing it. I haven't been doing it real. Like I haven't had any type of romantic relations in months. But I have been self medicating. We just going on. We getting cocktails, getting full. I have been doing that. I'm not finna, I don't go to the club. I'm not, like engaging in, I'm not on the apps, I'm not on dating apps. But every now and then a girl want her a cocktail and a girl want to self-medicate, you know. Now I haven't been, hitting the stones. I haven't been, putting anything on a pipe and pushing it back, forth and forth. You know what I'm saying? And last night when I was, because I hadn't felt sexy in that way in over night, I decided that, I wanted to have a moment by myself because normally when I do the self medicating ritual, I do it in the company of other people. I'm, with other people and we're fellowshipping and, we feel in a moment. But like I said, there are beings who do not participate. Purple Prodigy, I love her so much. She's a grounding force. She don't participate in none of the shenanigans. She don't shenan or shenanigan. But anyway, but what I love about her is she doesn't judge me or try to make me feel like something is wrong with me because I'm responsible. I still do everything that I said I was going to do, and I'm still, on my intentions. I'm not on the apps. I'm not on any dating apps. I'm not running around here trying to have. I'm not running to the club. I'm not going out every now and then. A girl like to lock up in her room. Sexy. But again, I'm not putting anything on a pipe. I'm not shooting, and I'm not yucking anybody's yum. Like if you like to put something on a pipe, if you like to shoot up, I'm not judging, and I'm learning more and more not to be judgmental of people who do that because I do realize that that's something I have to work on myself because it's important to me to feel safe. I don't feel comfortable around certain substances because I'm afraid of what I might give if I was ever so. It's classism that even goes amongst self medicating. You feel like how you're choosing to self medicate or how you're choosing to self soothe is grander. Like people who use Mary Jane as a way of self soothing. They feel like, oh well, I'm not as bad as you because you want to put something on a pipe or you want to put something up your nose or you want to put it in like I'm not as bad as you. No, boo. We're all self-medicating. And even if you just have a cocktail, some people use like sexual activities, some people use shopping, some people use food. Everybody have their vices and their things that they like to use to help them get through this reality, to help them feel okay with themselves. And I think the problem comes in when you start to abuse whatever it is that you're doing. And also when you try to judge others and put others down for how they try to mind their business, how they try to get through the day. Like there's a culture of shaming people and trying to make them feel like they're the villain or they're a bad. And again, I will never fit into anybody's box. Like I will never fit into your box. I will always ooze out and spill out because I am a messy, complicated human being. I do not fit into a binary. You will never be able to depict yourself as the victim and me as a villain. You will never be able to depict yourself as the hero and me as the monster in your story because, ma'am, I am complicated. I am multidimensional. And so people love trying to paint this picture of me, but sweetheart, I'm a painter too. So you don't get to paint your picture of me and think that I don't have a picture of you. Now, when I first got ready to do this live, I'm not going to lie, the first intention behind doing this live was I was going to drag somebody. And I'm not going to drag her because this is not about her. It's really about me. It's really about accountability for me. It's really about setting my intentions and making sure that as I'm going into this new cycle, that I'm being intentional about who I align myself with. And I'm also taking a season to let other things fall away. I think this season it was just important to be able to keep my cookies to myself, to be able to keep my holes closed, keep my mouth closed, keep my impawai, my cooch closed, keep my booty hole closed. It was just important, like, to keep these holes closed. And now it's time to be more responsible about how I'm dealing with my trauma, how I'm dealing with my grief, how I'm dealing with my pain, how I'm dealing with my suffering, like to pay attention to myself and to really see how the ancestors have been blessing me, and to be grateful, like to do an inventory and to be grateful for what I have, even when I don't feel like I have much, like to not feel like I need to deal with my grief in the ways that I've traditionally dealt with my grief. So anyway, last night I was out, and I hadn't felt a moment, like a moment in about a week, because there's been a lot going on in the space that I'm in. So much going on that, child, I thought I was gonna be back in New York for a second. It was given that. It was given, oh, is it time to go home? Like, bitch, is it time to go back to New York? Is the trip done? You know, so the last thing I do was be self-medicating in that way, because when I self-medicate with a certain substance, the girl be crunk. The girl be, and I didn't want to make any decisions from that space. I wanted to make sure that the decisions I was making was from my normal state. And my normal state is probably a joint. That's pretty normal for me. A joint. I can rationalize and reason, like, um Mary Jane doesn't have me to an extreme. Like, that's a norm for me. Even though I do feel like that needs to cut out too. Like, and I'm weaning myself off of these things. Like, this is a weaning season, because I do want to be more focused, more present. And I think that it's challenging. I don't want to say it's hard, because I'm not gonna limit myself like that. But it is challenging when you're an extremely empathic person and there's so much going on in the world. It's it's challenging to be fully in your body. It's challenging to be present all the time and to be aware to um it's difficult to self-regulate. It's difficult to be present and to self-regulate without going into default behavior, without trying to self-soothe in a way that can be that can create an altered perception of you. And I hear people, like, when they're clean and sober, like people who don't self-medicate at all, like they'll say, I've had 30 days clean from mind altering drugs, like I've had 60 days clean from mind altering drugs. And I'm like, did you eat meat? Because that is a mind altering substance. Like, literally, if food wasn't mind altering, if food, and why, when people eat salads and people eat fruits and vegetables, they have energy, but when people eat comfort food, they are tired and they're sleepy and they're ready to lay down. So, like, why, when people drink sugar, they be hyped up and pepped up, but then when they drink water, they're not like that. Like, when people drink coffee, they're hyped up and pepped up. So when you say I have 30 days clean from mind and mood altering substances, I'm like, no, you don't. Like, if you're putting food in your body, they put drugs in the food, they put drugs in the water, everything is spiked at this point, poo. Everything is spiked. And so when I be listening to people who are, like, on this addiction, on this journey to give up substances, and they're like, I have 30 days clean from mind and mood altering substances. In my mind, I'm saying, no, you don't, because you're not paying attention to your body if you don't realize that food can change your mood, that a soda can change your mood, that a cup of coffee can change your mood. It can alter your mood, it can alter your mind. Maybe not as noticeably, maybe not as drastically, but it can. Ma'am, if you say, ma'am, sir, if you sit down and you eat a pork chop, some mashed potatoes, and some rice and gravy, if you sit down and eat some mashed potatoes, child, let me delete and block you because you lying. Bitch, I talk to my daughter every day on the phone. Now, me and Milan don't talk, but me and Pernisha was just on the phone last night for an hour, girl. Shut your weird ass up. And now I'm about to block you. I'm glad you came out, dude, because you a monitoring spirit and you trying to throw off this topic. But child, my daughter love me, bitch. We talk all the time. Just because you don't see girls in my videos with me, just because Pernisha's not in front of camera with me all the time, posting pictures with me all the time, it means our relationship has changed. It means how we show up for each other has changed. But I don't have to bring my daughters in front of camera all the time for you all. Let's take a moment for that. Me and my daughter talk on the phone every other day. Every other day. She loves her mother. Let's be clear. You weird bitch. She loves me. I just talked to Bonnie on the phone 4 days ago. Empathy was just here. You're a weird bitch. You hoes are jealous and weird. But I don't. She don't have to be in front of the camera. Good. All y'all want to do is monitor anyway. It's always a bitch who don't support. And when you come out to say something, you don't have anything to say but something messy. I don't like I'm only entertaining you because I know that that's a spirit that's out there that y'all think that because y'all don't see me in front of the camera with certain girls that we're not beefing, that we're not speaking. If I'm not speaking to a girl, I'm very transparent. I will say what is going on. I will say we're not speaking. This is what y'all do not like about me. You cannot control me. You cannot control my narrative. You cannot speak for me. You can't put out stories and because I will get on here and I will address it. Anything that I'm doing, I'll talk about it. A lot of you work from the shadows. You're despicable. You're messy. You're miserable. And it's because you can't talk about what's going on with you. You'd rather talk about what's going on with yourself. And because I could get on here and I could talk about what's going on with other people, because I talk about what's going on with me, because I'm always going to play the whole tape. Never going to put another person down to lift myself up. I'm going to talk about the dumb, weird shit I did. But I'm also, because I can talk about the dumb, weird shit I did, I can also talk about the dumb, weird shit you're doing. Because it takes one to know one fact. And a lot of y'all, you like to sit on your high horses and act like you perfect patty and act like you're doing everything right. When in reality, if someone was to hold a magnifying glass to your life, what you do in the shadows, the reason why you won't cam up, the reason why you won't go live, the reason why you can't talk for 30 minutes live is because it would expose who you really are, how you really think, what you really believe versus what you try to pretend, what you try to present to people. And that's why this video was so important because I'm really going to be cautious about the people that I'm aligning myself with. You'll never make me feel guilty about me self-soothing, me self-medicating, but at the end of the day, I do want to shift from that. But what this season has been about in doing shadow work is when I have done things where I was self medicating, it's always been about being physical, being sexual, being with someone. And in this season where I was going through my goings, there was no partner. I have not physically been with someone since like around September. It's been months. It's been months. And so the going throughs have just been about me. And maybe people who have different vices or people who have different challenges, who have different struggles cannot relate to what I'm talking about. And if not, this message is not for you. This is really just about me holding myself accountable, being honest and being transparent about what's going on with me. This is not for your approval. This is not for your validation. This is me publicly holding myself accountable. This last season of my life, I've wanted to be with someone physically. I've wanted to have intimacy with someone, but I realized that, girl, you got enough going on. You don't need to add any penis into the mix. Or if it's a trans man, you don't need, or if it's a trans masculine person or AFAB person, you don't need to add any other, you don't need to have anybody bumping up against you right now, Fed. You don't need to be doing no bumping and grinding right now, Fed. You don't need to be doing any of that right now. You don't need to be sharing your bed, sharing your body. You don't need to be connecting with people like that right now. You got enough going on. You got enough on your plate. And that's why last year, the whole 2025, I didn't take any testosterone and I didn't take any estrogen. I didn't take none of that because I'm trying to focus on. Hold on. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, how you doing? I'm doing well. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you up and on your way. Oh, thank you so much, Mama. Yeah, thank you so much. You can never have enough of that. Mm, you gonna make it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I see you soon. All right, bro. Yeah, so that's one of my community mamas, who is looking out for me, bringing me some groceries and things, and I'm just really thankful for the support that I do have, but yeah, I want to continue to be honest with people. And like I said, when I initially made this video, I was gonna make this video because I wanted to drag somebody. But you will notice a shift. You will notice a shift because I said I wasn't gonna do any content, but I'm not gonna be going live like that, and I'm not gonna be posting videos like that. But I do want to do progress. I do want to do progress reports because as we prepare for the spring equinox, I'm preparing myself mentally for a shift. And it's the small things, like I've really been minimizing my scroll time. I don't be scrolling. I really honestly, like, I used to be scrolling for like hours. Like I would give so much time to being in my phone and scrolling in my phone. I had to realize that my phone was a trigger for me. Content creation, when I'm doing too much of it, it can be a trigger for me. These are things that can set me off. And so I've been, even in the midst of my storm, even in the midst of my challenges, I have been self-reflecting and paying attention to myself, paying attention to what triggers me, what sets me off. And the thing that I'm learning about myself is I do need to take time. I can't be on social media like that. I can't be, because it's become such a place of, it's it's a lack of authenticity. It's so gimmicky. So many people not being real, not being honest, not being transparent. So many people just on here trying to make a buck and trying, just telling people what they want to hear in order to get a coin off of them. Like, it's for me, it can be a very harmful place. And so it can put me in a position to want to self-soothe and to want to self-medicate. Like, like now where I am with intimacy and intercourse, I look at it like people look at, like when people watch horror films, like people are not going to go out here and actually unalive people. Well, I can't speak for everybody, but you don't watch horror films with the intent to go out and unalive people. That's how I look at like shows where people like be being intimate and people be being romantic and physical with each other. It's entertainment for me. Like, I really am in this space of, I don't want intimacy. Like, I don't want to be touched. Like, there's probably one or two people that I probably would entertain, but we are so like, we're on different frequencies right now. Like, our work is calling us in different directions, and so we can't physically connect. But I feel like I'm happy that my spirituality is becoming stronger in me, because at first, I ain't gonna lie, it was like a fake it till you make it thing. Like, I would be like, child, I'd be lay lim, and wholeness and God goddess, but then I haul off and sleep with a Christian. Then I will haul off and sleep with a Catholic. Then I will haul off and be with people that were not aligned with the things that I believed in, because that's how the work. That's why I had to get off the apps, because I had to be honest with myself. Like, we're not equally yoked. And for a person who wants to have a romantic relationship in their mind, in my mind, because I've been so conditioned to want a romantic relationship, I'm grieving the fact that it's not gonna happen for me like it happened for Blanca in Pose when she met that doctor. Because at the end of the day, they were standing in a circle wearing white, talking about amen, talking about thank you, Father. So, and I'm not, and I love Pose. Like, I watched it yesterday again. It was so good. I cried so many times. Like, I was moved so many times during watching it again. Like, I had to skip around some parts because they focused a lot on HIV, which I get why it was a strategy. Gay men were affected by it, so bringing that element in, it was gonna make it go mainstream and make it something that everybody wanted to watch. So I get the strategy of why they talk so much about HIV in the show and why they did some of the things that they did. But because certain episodes are extremely triggering for me, I did have to skip around. But just watching it, and seeing how, Blanca's partner stood up for her, like stood up to his mama for her. Like, I literally cried like when I saw that, and I realized it's not going to be that easy for me, because you have a whole spirituality that goes against what most of us was taught to believe. You have a whole practice, a whole faith that does not align with most people, with what most people are taught to believe. And so it was already hard for you. The pickings were already slim. You're black, you're trans, you identify with your indigeneity, you have an open mind about things that you're typically not supposed to have an open mind about, and you practice a spirituality that goes against what we were taught. Like, it was already difficult for you. You literally made it harder for yourself by embracing this practice, and by doing this, like, you literally made it more complicated for yourself. And then what, and even though now I'm in a good place with that, like, I'm not messed up about it. I accept the choices that I made. I deal with the choices that I made, but that still doesn't mean that I'm not going to grieve them. Like when I had bottom surgery, I still grieved even though I didn't like having it on my body and I really didn't use it, I still grieved it because it was a part of me. And so just because something is not for you anymore, or you're letting something go, or you're moving past it, it doesn't mean that you don't grieve it. It doesn't mean that you don't hold space for that memory. And so there's a part of me that's grieving the person that I could have been had I not been called to practice Laylim Layler and be a part of the resurrection of this practice. Like, I'm grieving the binary trans woman. I'm grieving the black binary Christian trans woman. I'm grieving the girl that's trying to fit in and get acceptance in a binary society. I'm grieving her. I carry that grief. Every day I get up and I face that grief and I live with that grief. And I'm learning how to be a stronger person in spite of that grief, in spite of that struggle. Because some days and now I've gotten to the point to where I can't imagine throwing in the towel because this bigger than me. I can't and I've gotten so rooted in this practice that when I'm talking to men, it's entertainment. Like, I look at them as entertainment because a, even a good man, where I am spiritually, even a good man would not be good for me. But I'm gonna tell you, like I told my sister last night when we was talking on the phone, when we used to go on the block, like say for example, you had money. When you went on the block, you still charged the boys because you knew that that's the law. Other girls got to make their money. So you going to charge him because you don't want to bring down the value of the block. Girls is out here trying to survive. So even if you was attracted to him and you wanted to have him for free, you would still charge him because you're not trying to bring down the quality of the block for the other girls. So where I am now spiritually is like, when dudes are talking to me, like, and you got to hear me out, because a lot of y'all not gonna get this because y'all nowhere near there. I used to be so impressed when men or males would call me a queen, or when they would call me a goddess, or when they would call me a princess, or when they would call me baby girl. I used to be so impressed by that. I used to be so moved. Like, I lived for being called an African queen, being called a goddess. I lived for that. And now it doesn't move me like it used to, because I know you're saying this because deep down you feel that I'm inferior to you. You're saying this not because you honor me as your equal, or see me as the same as you, or just as powerful as you, or having a different kind of power that helps to alchemize your power. You don't see me in that way. You see me as a possession. You see me as something beneath you. And so, but I don't correct them when they say baby girl. I don't correct them when they say queen. I don't correct them because I know another girl need that. Just like on the block, another girl need that coin. Another girl need that validation. But for me, I want you to acknowledge my wholeness. I want you to acknowledge that yes, I show up differently. Yes, I move through the world differently, but I am not beneath you. I'm not your helpmate. I'm not your sidekick. And a lot of people, y'all are so happy to get that she, and to get that goddess, and to get that mother. And I get it. You work so hard to get there. And I want that for you. That's why I don't correct these men. That's why when they say mama and goddess and queen, but I'm whole. And I need for you to be thoughtful about how you acknowledge me. I need for you to see all of me. I'm not telling you to call me a king or call me your homeboy, but I'm saying be thoughtful about how I show up. And I feel so many more boxes than that. You can't just neatly put me in the box and say, "Oh, that's a black woman," or "Oh, that's a black trans woman," or "Oh, that's a person who does this self medicates," or "That's a person who uses." Like you can't just put me in a box. Like I'm complicated. I'm nuanced. I'm layered. I'm multidimensional. I'm messy in how I show up, and I'm okay with that. And I need for people to be more present, like when they're noticing things about me, and don't just try to lump me over here and just put me over here. Like I exist on multiple planes and in multiple spaces, and um I need intimacy and the type of partnership that acknowledges that effortlessly. Like, but that requires you to be doing more work on yourself. That requires more people to be doing deeper reflective work on. And so a lot of times when I'm maneuvering through society, I feel like I'm observing society and I can't really engage because I don't want to mess it up for everybody else. It's like I'm witnessing society and like I'm a visitor that's witnessing society, but I'm not actually often engaging in society. And so I think the self medication has been my way of minding my business and not being confrontational, because I do have a confrontational spirit. As sure as my mother's name is Julie Marie Jackson, I am gonna address some things. I am gonna speak on some things. And so I try not to put myself in positions where I have to activate that advocacy part of myself. Mind my business and let society work for the girls who are still in that place of needing that queen, baby girl, princess. Because I want that for you, baby. I remember when that meant, I remember when that meant the world to me to get my, I see you, queen. I see you, goddess, baby girl, princess. I remember when that meant the world to me. I remember when I needed that validation, but now I understand that even that validation is me being complicit with patriarchy. Me needing for a man to acknowledge my femininity, to acknowledge my brand of womanhood. Me needing that favor, me needing that acknowledgement, me waking up and feeling so moved and excited by that. That is me being complicit with patriarchy. But some of my sisters are there and they're never going to not be there. They're going to live there. They're going to go to their grave being there and teaching other people how to navigate that space. That's your ministry. That's your platform. That's your work. Like when, like, and this is no shade, no tea. I watched a video that Armand Wiggins did last night. And he has a very interesting opinion about trans. You shouldn't start too old because you're around here looking like a brick. And I'm like, wow. Instead of trying to create a reality where trans women feel like they have to, trans women, trans men have to change themselves to fit into people's perception of what it means to be a woman or what it means to be a man. I just wish we could do the work of, I wish we could do a different work. Oh, y'all give me a second. Yes, ma'am. All right, here I come. All right. Yeah, so y'all wait. I'm gonna come back. This might take me about 5 minutes. So if you gotta go to the bathroom or you got something you gotta do, go ahead and do it. Cause this might take a minute. Let me put the dogs outside too. Come on here. Child, child, I just finished crying. Baby, when I tell you, even when I be beating up on myself, like even when I be doing crazy shit to myself, like this woman just brought me, like, she said she was gonna go through her cabinet and get a couple of little things to bring to the house. This lady made grocery, like, and I was like literally crying because like this is one of my community mamas. Like she's cisgender, but she queer, she bisexual. And she told me last night, she said you have food in your house. And we do have some grocery because we got a little grocery last night. But baby, food don't go, like grocery don't go as far as they used to go, and I got a whole different setup that I can't get into right now because I'm not going to be spilling all my tea online because I know everybody that be watching these videos is not here to support me. But we doing some underground railroad type shit right now. That's what I'm gonna say. And so when you're doing that, you don't always have the resources that should be available to you. Like we're making moves that are not supposed to be for us. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not supposed to be for us. Like I'm on a fixed income. Like we are living below the poverty line. And so the moves that we making, like tickets ain't free. You can't travel from New York to Louisiana and to Georgia without paying it. If you're on a fixed income, that's gonna be even harder. And so when y'all see all the things that I'm building, that's because I have integrity. That's because I do what I say I'm gonna do. When people trust me with opportunities, when people give me an opportunity, I show up. I don't, like, if you give me an opportunity, I'm showing up. That's one thing you best. No matter what I got going on, if you give me an opportunity and I believe in that opportunity and I'm aligned with that opportunity, I'm gonna show up. I'm going to show up and I'm going to put my best foot forward. Believe that. So, but yesterday I called her and I told her, I said, well, since I've been back in New Orleans, I said, community, not community, not community. Like I just don't, like, there's been moments where I felt connected, I felt seen. There's been moments, I'm not going to say there haven't been moments, but for the most part, community is not community. The gatekeepers, in my absence, they've closed ranks. And so community is not community. It's not community. And I was just telling her that yesterday. I was like, community is not community. It's not doing it. It's not. The girl is like, I have more community in New York. I feel more at home. I feel, and that's the unfortunate thing because my mom lives here. And my mom is about to be 70 years old next year, and she just had surgery on her knee. It's only two siblings that live. That my other sibling does not come to New Orleans. Like she sent my mama. She's like the monetary child. Like she does for my mama financially and buy my mama gifts and stuff. But when it's time to go to the doctor with her, it's when it's time to be at that house caring for her and taking care of her, it's me and my other sibling. And I be there when she go in. The last two surgeries she's had, I was there when she went in, and I was there when she came out, and I was there when she went home. And so in order to be close to my mama while she's aging, I had to make arrangements so I could be in this city because I'm not a coin girl. I'm not a girl who could just swipe her card and get a hotel room, or swipe her card and be, I'm getting to the point to where I can't live around my mama, where I can't be in the house with my mama, like we have that relationship with each other, and I want to spend more time with her. But I go over there and I bring my daughters over there with me, and we be over there all taking care of my mama. And so it's important for me to be able to be at home so that I can be there for my mama. But I also have to be somewhere that gives me quality health care, where the doctors don't treat me like shit, where they're not passing bills that are trying to erase us and discriminate against us and mistreat us. And so balancing that is not easy. where I have my own space where I can store my art. So New York provides a lot for me that New Orleans does not. New York, I don't feel weird for not practicing Christianity. Girls ain't side-eyeing me, looking at me like they do in the South. That's not an unsafe place to not be a Christian. No one's judging you for self-medicate. Worked at a harm reduction facility for 10 months. So I'm not the girl that you're going to make feel guilty about using, because I literally worked in the first harm reduction facility in the country that had a unit where they were it's an overdose prevention center. I was the first girl. I'm not gonna say I was the first girl, because Lanya was working there before me. But working from Louisiana, I always get them jobs, honey. Like when I was working for the state, girl, I was the first Black trans girl to work at the Office of Public Health, the first openly Black trans girl. Then when I go to New York, I become one of the first girls to work for a harm reduction center that had the first overdose prevention site in the facilities. They weren't doing that anywhere else in the country. Nowhere else in the country can you go inside and safely hit your Tina, hit your pipe, smoke your whatever it is, your K2, your weed, get a booty bump. We passing out syringes, pipes, all of that. Like literally, I worked in a facility like that for 10 months. So I learned about harm reduction and how important it is not to demonize and stigmatize people who use, because people have their reasons for self-medicating. And I'm thankful for that opportunity. I'm thankful that I worked there for 10 months, because it really, really helped me to be able to be in a space to be able to talk about these things that people find so much shame in and people are embarrassed about. It helped me to be able to talk about them. I'm not uncomfortable with talking about my status because I'm whole, and y'all worship people who lie to you and people who keep things from you. And that's why this government is where it is right now. That's why this country is where it is right now, because the people who are running this country got so many secrets that they need, so many skeletons that they need to deal with. And rather than them dealing with their own stuff, they constantly dealing with you. Hey, Prodigy. They constantly dealing with you. They constantly getting you together. They constantly minding your business. Like the pastor doing church. He around here doing God got us knows what with God got us knows who. But he gonna sit in that pulpit and judge you and wear you out and talk down on you. Prodigy, put the groceries up for me, please. It's some in the front room too on the floor. Yeah, so but I'm not finna like, talk y'all to death because the dogs is outside and I forgot to do the little revision. But this video is because there is gonna be a shift. I might puff on me some trees today or tomorrow, but that's about to be cut out too. And I'm not saying these things are going to be cut out forever. Like I'm not putting myself in a position of saying that, oh girl, I'm never going to do a bump again, or girl, I'm never going to smoke weed again, I'm never going to drink again. But I do want to take 2 or 3 months. I do want to take 2 or 3 months to, girl, get it together. Girl, focus on your body, your health, your mental, and it's gonna be one day at a time. Because there's a season for everything, there's a time for everything. I do want to give it a few months. Like I do want to be able to say, girl, you ain't had no weed, girl, in 2 months. Girl, you ain't had you no sniff, girl, in about 3 months, girl. Bitch, you ain't had, girl. When the last time you had some sniff, girl? Oh, girl, I ain't done that in 3 months, girl. I want to be able to do that like I'm talking about sex right now. Like I ain't had sex in 4 months. I want to be able to do that with the sniffy. I want to be able to do that with the marijuana. I want to be able to do that with the liquor. I want to be able to get in front of this camera in 2 months and say, "Child, remember when I did that last video, girl? I ain't had none since then, girl." And not in a way that puts other people down or in a way that makes me like I'm better than you because I'm not doing it. No, this is just what I need in this season of my life to so that I can make sure that I'm aligning myself with the people that I'm supposed to be in alignment with. Cause child, when you be around here partying with everybody, that should lie to you. It'll be given very much a deception. And you'll be aligning yourself with people who look at you as the party spot, but don't respect you as a leader because their perception of you is, oh, you're a party girl. They want to put you in that box. Oh, child, you ain't nothing, girl. Girl, that's a cokehead. Girl, that's a pothead. Girl, she a crackhead. Girl, don't believe nothing she said, girl. Girl, that's an alcoholic. Like people will be partying with you and still have this perception of you because it's like that's how they met you and that's what they know you from. They know you for giving it up for that, and they don't realize that, girl, you is multi-dimensional, girl. You have so much going on, girl. You got so many layers to you, girl. This is just one moment, girl. This is one moment in the slideshow, girl. This is one clip from the movie, girl. This is one page in the book, girl. Mystique, this is not, girl. That moment was just that, a moment. This does not dictate who I am. This does not puppeteer me. This does not control me. And so, because I don't want to align myself with people who are getting a false assumption of who I am, I really need to take a moment to fall back. Because in this new cycle, I don't want to align myself with people who see me as the party girl, who see me as the bump girl, who see me as the drink girl, who see me as the smoke girl. And it's sad that people are so simple and weird that they don't even understand that you have layers and it's more to you than that. It's sad that people are so simple-minded that you have to placate to that. I want to go on record and saying that's sad. But there are people who will play in your face and try to use those moments with you, those moments where, because when you're using or when you're entertaining a substance, when you're entertaining a spirit, you are channeling different parts of yourself. And there are people who will try to corrupt that version of you and try to demonize that version of you and try to say, oh, because you were under the influence, you made me feel unsafe, or you were putting me in harm's way. Like there are people who will manipulate your wholeness like that. And I've had an experience with that recently. Someone was manipulating me, knowing they've been around me forever, done hung around me in all states of being, fasting, not doing nothing. You done been around me like that. You done been around me while I was full boots. You done been around me while I wasn't eating nothing but lettuce. You done seen me. You done seen all of the sides of me. And you chose to use the part of me that was sacred and vulnerable that everybody don't get to see. And you twisted it. And you tried to demonize me. And you had people getting the pitchforks ready for the witch hunt. It was giving Salem witch trials. And this is why I don't thrive in a binary setting. This is why I don't fuck with binary settings, because somebody always have to be the villain and somebody always have to be the hero or the heroine. I don't fuck with that, because sometimes I'm gonna be the villain. I'm not the neighbor who gonna always have a cup of sugar for you. And if you try to gaslight me, you got the gas, I'ma have the fire. Because it's only so much I'ma take. I'ma start off trying to talk calm and trying to talk sweet. It's gonna be a warning shot. I'm not just gonna go head first and eat you up. I'ma fire a warning shot. I'ma let you know you're treading in dangerous waters right now because you're gaslighting me. And what does gas do? Gas starts fires. And then y'all get mad when y'all get the fire. You gaslight the hell out of me and play in my face. And then when a fire gets started, you looking crazy. You looking surprised. Surprise. You looking surprised. What you thought gaslighting me was going to get? So, in the efforts to really be thoughtful about the people that I'm aligning myself with in this coming cycle, I'm going to make different decisions. I'm going to take some time. Like I will be, when I do videos, I'm going to be posting updates. I also want y'all to join the membership side of this, because in the membership content, it's gonna be music, Laylim Layler music. It's gonna be me sharing updates. It's not gonna be me talking. It's gonna be more about me, like dancing, exercising, therapeutic. So join the membership, start joining the membership, and you'll be getting updates soon. Some of the content is not, like, if you're not willing to donate $3 for a video, like if you're not willing, you don't need to see it. I'm tired of feeding you monitoring spirits. I'm tired of feeding people who don't feed me. So I will go live to, be transparent, to let y'all know what's going on. A lot of content is going to be on the Laugh Network, the more futuristic, moving forward type, the podcast and all that. I've been releasing some of it to this platform now, just so y'all can see what type of content is going to be on Laugh. So I've been giving y'all some windows into that. But when I release videos in the future, some of them, and I don't care if the video don't get but 5 views, because it's for my healing, it's for my therapy. And if you're on this journey like I'm on this journey, it can be for your healing and for your therapy too. Because a win for me is a win for you. If we're aligned, a win for me is a win for you. If I can overcome, if I can shift it, if I can change my reality, if I can begin to manifest something different for myself, then that's showing you that it's possible for you. So people who want to see that journey, that's going to be from me. And like I said, I don't care if it only get 5 views. I don't care if it only gets 7. I'm tired. I don't owe people my art. I don't owe you that. I've given it freely, and a lot of you have taken it for granted. But this art comes from my struggle, from my defiance, from my resistance. Yes, being trans within itself is a form of resistance, but this is on a whole nother level. I rejected the spirituality. I rejected the religion. And that's what my tribe has been doing. We've rejected that. And that made it even more challenging. And so if you're, and it is a fight that you don't have to take on, but you get to witness. And you get to see the art that comes from that space. You get to see what is developed from that space. And a lot of you have got to see a lot of it for free, because I don't charge you. I don't be on here begging and asking for cash apps and putting my cash app links up, which is amazing, because some of the most wealthiest girls in this community stay with their cash app posted. And a lot of y'all don't want the truth. Y'all just want to be entertained. You really just want to be entertained. And I can be very entertaining, But let's be clear, I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm not here for your kiki. Now, if you can get a cackle out of something I'm saying, girl, cackle. Miss Thing, lean back chuckling, girl. Lean back with it. Bitch, if you could get a cackle out of something I'm saying, by all means, get your cackle on. But please understand that that's not my legacy. That's not what I'm here for. That's not the goal. I don't get on live trying to see how I could get the girls to chuckle. Now, when I first started creating content, when I first got on live, well, not live because they wasn't doing lives when I first started doing YouTube content. When I first came on this platform, yes, I was trying to get y'all to chuckle, but there's always been a message rooted in the chuckle. Like I wanted you to chuckle, but I wanted you to also get a message. Now, as I've gotten more into it, I still want you to chuckle, but the chuckle is not really, it's not really necessary. I would love for you to get a chuckle, but you're not guaranteed a chuckle with me. I'm not the clown. That's not my particular role in all of this. Can I channel the clown? Can I give you a clown moment? Hell yeah. But that's not what this is. That's not what this is hitting for. Okay? As long as we got that. So, I'm going to come on here and give you updates and let you know what's going on with me. But as I'm making this shift, as I'm preparing for this shift, like I said in the beginning of the video, people getting ready to do Ramadan, they getting ready to do Lent. This is a resetting season while we prepare for the real new year. That's why they say April Fools on April 1st, because that's really when the new year starts. They fooled you. But when the world wakes up and things come in. So right now, I am purging myself. I'm in a season of, sitting in my mess. Like that's where I'm at with it. I'm sitting in my mess, but I'm not gonna stay there. I've done a couple of fasts earlier just to prepare myself, because this year it's gonna be even more intense. Last year I did good. I slimmed down. Like I don't know if y'all was here for last year, but last year, baby, I was on it because I had to go and stay in that shelter to get my housing in New York. I had to stay in a shelter for 2 months. And baby, while I was going through all of that, I was being so disciplined. I was watching what I eat. I was focused. I was fasting. I wasn't, having sex. I wasn't, using. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't giving all that. Like I was really, really I was barely smoking weed. So this year I want to do better than I did last year. And I don't want it to be, something. You are so negative, but you don't get that. You are so miserable with self. You don't have no compassion. You're filled with much hate. You are projecting. That's a huge projection, Ronald. Ooh wee. You're watching me on a YouTube screen and you made that assessment of me from watching me on a YouTube screen. You have no content. I know I can't go to your page right now and look at that video you posted. Can I go to your page, Ronald, and see your content, see your journey? Is it open to the public? Is it open to the public? You don't know me in real life. You don't know me, Ronald. You haven't been around me in years. You know of me. You know of me. You've shared space with me, but you don't know me. You don't know me. You are true. That's true. And the reason I read your comment, I've read your comment. I'm always gonna be worse to people who are not meant to understand me. Like just your rationale of me tells me who you are. Like you getting on here and saying that says more about you than it says about me. Because I'm being visible, I'm sharing, I'm opening up, I'm talking about my struggles and my challenges and what I'm going through. Like I'm literally sitting in front of the camera being vulnerable so you can make comments like that. And I still ain't lit into you yet because I realize that that says more about who you are than who I am. And I'm literally letting you comment because I could have been removed your shit and put you in a timeout. Because I don't want to. And if my moderator was on here, she would already booted you out. But I'm glad that she didn't because I want people to see you don't like me. You don't like, and it's okay to say it. It's you don't have to project things on me that you deal with. You don't have to make your story my story because you don't like me. You just don't like me. I've never been happy for someone becoming HIV positive. You a damn lie. Never been happy for someone being HIV. You have me confused with another. You have never in your raggedy ass life heard me celebrate someone testing positive. Never. You've never, never, never been happy for a bitch being positive. Never. That's not my spirit. That's you. That's a projection. Yes, you were. Your mood changed to being so happy. This is giving me Milan. So I'm gonna go ahead and block you. This is giving me. I really hope it's not her, but it's really giving me you. And I'm not gonna let you derail this conversation. So we entertained you for a minute, Ronald. But it's giving me a trans girl in a burner account. It's giving that tease now. HIV positive. My mood changed. Who was around to see? Like who could that be about? Who could that be about? I was happy when a girl tested positive. What do you think of the DL Whisperer? Right. What do you think of the DL Whisperer? He is coming for every trans girl. I think that the DL Whisperer is. I think the DL Whisperer sees. Because I've said some mean things about the DL Whisperer. So let me. I've been in the DL Whisperer comments. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and act like perfect Patty and be like I ain't never read that jail because I but I am a work in progress, so I don't want to like eat the DL Whisperer up today, but I do want to give an honest assessment of what I think. I think the DL Whisperer, I think part of him wants to be a girl. Um, I don't think that he has the courage to be a girl. I think that because he's dark skinned and as a darker skinned person, we don't always feel seen. We feel like we have to do more to be seen. And I feel like he wants to be seen he wants to be important, he wants to be valued, and he's willing to throw other people on the bus to do it. You know, he's willing to talk down on people who society is already targeting to do it. Like, you know, a lot of people feel like the DL Whisperer is telling the truth, but the truth doesn't have to be delivered like that. Like, if you have an opinion about somebody, you don't have to um talk about their mental health. You don't have to bring their mental health into question to validate how you feel. You could just say, you know, from my religious beliefs and how I was brought up, I think that trans women is wrong. I don't support it. You, and no one can get mad at you for having that opinion about trans people. Like, if you think trans people are wrong and you don't think that trans people are of God, you have the freedom to say that. You have the freedom to feel like that. I don't want anyone to ever feel like they can't have a negative opinion of me, because you can. My grandmother used to always say, what you eat ain't gonna make me shit. What you eat ain't gonna make me go to the bathroom. If you sit down and you eat your breakfast, you eat your grits, your eggs, your bacon, if you sit down and you eat that, if you sit down and you eat that, it's not going to make me go to the bathroom because of what you ate. So you're allowed to have your opinion about me. I just feel like this is lucrative for the DL Whisperer at this point. Like, when he first started doing it, I think he was just like bitter, and he didn't like the girls. But then he started getting all this attention, and the girls are a safer. It's kind of like when I used to do sex work in the French Quarters. The police will always target the girls because the girls are a easier arrest than a mafia type dude, like a man, like a gorilla, like a beast. And so if you mess with the girls, you're less likely to be in a situation where you have to have a shootout. You're less likely to be in a situation where you have to use aggressive bodily force, where you have to fight for your life. And so I think that's the same way on the internet. A lot of people pick on the trans community, trans women in particular, because this is not a situation where they're going to have to use brute force, where they're going to have to fight for their life, where it's going to end up with, like, girls like really, really trying to like do them some bodily harm. Like, they don't mess with, other men like that, because they know that brute force might come into play. They know that they might have to windmill for their life. They know they might have to fight for their life. And so the girls make an easy target. We made an easy target for the police 20 years ago now, and we make an easy target for people who want to become famous, for people who want attention, for people who want to be aligned with the status quo, who trying to be picked. We make an easy target for them. And that's what I think is going on with the DL Whisperer. He reads Madison and Dominique every day. Yeah, because for him, they're an easy target. He said he going to Dominique's court case and testify. Girl, I'm not about to. Girl, I'm not about to do this, girl. Girl, I'm not about to do this, girl. I'm just at this point in my life. And then, I saw T.S. Madison from a Mind Wiggins clip. I saw she had spoke out about the Nicki Minaj thing. And I feel like at this point the industry it's just entertainment, because it's hard. Like, I'm not upset about what Nicki Minaj said. It baffles me that Nicki Minaj supporters are upset with what she said, because Nicki didn't all of a sudden flip. Like, Nicki didn't all of a sudden become who she is now. She's always done things extreme. She's always done things for shock value to get people attention. Like, she's always been like that. and she's always aligned herself with colonialism and white politics. Like literally her brand is Barbie. And I'ma honestly say I wouldn't have been mad. Like I'm honestly in a place right now, and I'm holding myself accountable for this. Like I prophesied, and I've said this in multiple videos. I said this, like, you can go back to old videos that I did where I said T.S. Madison was going to be the trans version of Oprah Winfrey. I was saying this in 2012 and 2013 that this lady was going to be the trans Oprah Winfrey. And she's living up to that status now. Like, she's a media mogul. Like, do she have billions of dollars like Oprah? No, but our community is way smaller, and what she's accomplished, you know what I'm saying, is Oprah level in the trans community. Like our like she would be where Oprah was 20 years ago. Like, she would be giving you Oprah 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And so if she was to keep creating content and keep storytelling, I'm convinced that 20 years from now, Miss Thing probably could be a billionaire. Like, I don't think that that's something that T.S. Madison couldn't accomplish. And if you understand me, and if you truly know me, you would know that's why I had so much critique for her, because I didn't want her, because like a lot of people loved Oprah. Like, I wanted to be Oprah. I lived and breathed her. But then when she got to a certain plateau, I was like, girl, she fake, girl. Like, girl. Like, I lost a lot of faith in Oprah. And so I lost a lot of faith in a lot of people. Like, I used to love Tyler Perry. I lost a lot of faith in and so I was critiquing her and coming for her, not out of jealousy, not out of bitterness, but because she was a hero to me. She was a example, and I didn't want her to be like the rest of them. It's the same thing with Hope. Like, the things that I've said about people, yeah, because I'm not a college educated girl and I don't know how to talk in a way that doesn't make it look like I'm reading. I'm just, and I'm learning how to not just say it how I feel it, like, just to not just like come out my mouth and just, I was a part of that whole keep it real culture. Like, I'm keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just calling a spade a spade. No, girl, you have to be more thoughtful about how you speak about people. Like, now, when I'm in private and I'm talking to people that I love, yeah, girl, I'm gonna eat a bitch up. Girl, I'm gonna drag a bitch. But that's me venting to somebody that I love. But when I get on this internet and I'm talking to people who don't know me, who don't know all of the sides of me, the only thing that you're seeing is what I present on the internet. I do need to be more thoughtful about how I talk about people on the internet, because at the end of the day, you're basing your ideas about me on what I present on the internet. And so, because you're not getting a chance to experience the full person, you're gonna put me in a box because of how every time I get on the internet, I'm yelling and screaming and talking about a bitch. That's what you're gonna think I am, a bitch who always mad and talking about people. So I take accountability for how people could have that perception of me, because that's literally what I'm presenting. And real time, when I was giving those critiques about T.S. Madison, that is where I was. That was me having a human experience. That was me being human. I had pedestalized the child. I had put her on a pedestal. And I know better. I know better than to put people on pedestals, because I don't want people putting me on pedestals, because, ma'am, I'm still having a human experience. I don't care how much God goddess energy in me, how much Layla in me. I am in flesh and I'm having a human experience. But I pedestalized that child. And then I was aggravated because a lot of things she was doing, like when she said what she said about Nicki Minaj, she said, if it's a personal goal, and that to me speaks to her logic, because there's what you're trying to represent for the collective, what you're trying to represent for the people, and there's also your personal goals. So your personal goals need to be met, and your personal goals, when they affect the goals of the collective, there needs to be a conversation about that, because it's okay to have personal goals. But when your personal goals impact the collective groups that you belong to, that's when it's time to have a conversation about it. And so she was saying, is it a personal goal? And when she was saying, is it a personal goal? She was saying, okay, are you trying to get your husband removed from the registry? Or are you trying to get your citizenship? What's the tea? What's the tea? So I understand that, because we do have personal goals. So publicly, T.S. Madison is, to some degree, a voice for the trans community. Personally, she has a goal of being extremely wealthy. Sometimes being extremely wealthy can cause people to side-eye you when you're a voice of a marginalized community where most of them are not experiencing that type of wealth. So you are going to, at some times, contradict yourself, because you're representing a community that's extremely marginalized, and they're not experiencing the economic, they're not having the same economic experience as you are. And a lot of them are going to want to share space with you because they want to connect with that. They want to connect with that. Like I have, things that I could say about the starter house. But I've been minding my business. I've been over here self-medicating and minding my business. And see, this is the thing. People will try to critique me, like I'm still gonna take a break from it. But I talk a lot more when I don't self-medicate. Like like when I'm not self-medicating and over here feeling sexy in the house by myself, I really talk a lot. Like I could talk y'all motherfucking ass. Like I could talk y'all head off when I'm sober, and I have an opinion on everything. And I just don't think that is doing a service right now. I think this is the time where, for the most part, I need to shut the fuck up. People gonna do what they want to do anyway. People gonna do what they want to do anyway. Why stress myself ill? Why get caught up in the algorithm and a loop I don't want to be caught up in, simply because I couldn't mind my damn business? So a girl be somewhere in the cut self-medicating and minding her business. A prodigy. We behaving today. We behaving today. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Oh my goodness. Don't do that to that lady. I will say this, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's brilliant to make it a re-entry house. Like, that's brilliant strategy. Cause girls who done time in prison, girls who done time in, like, who just coming home from prison, those girls be hungry. Those girls be hungry. And those girls be trying to prove their worth. Those girls come home hungry. And to take girls who were in prison and put them in a mansion, bitch, whoever her team is, whoever the people is who talking to her, brilliant strategy. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, if we was close, if I fucked with YouTube, like we was close, I will go into more detail, but I'm not about to be spilling my pearls and giving my wisdom for monitoring spirits. But because that's a brilliant strategy. That's what I'm gonna say. Do I have other thoughts about it? Do I have, just because the strategy is brilliant, does that make it right? Does that make it morally sound? Does that make it does that make it have integrity? All of those things are questions for people to work out on their own spare time. That's a project for you to work on. But I will say this: it was very smart. It was smart, and I saw the promo. The girl said she left prison and she was flying in the sky, honey, and ended up in a mansion. Girl ended up in the girl. Can you imagine coming home from prison to that? And so, my prayer would be for people to have the experience that they want to have, and for them to grow from that experience in a way that is conducive to the collective growth of our people, to the collective elevation of our people, not just for the elite, not just for those who align with the status quo, but for this to benefit all of us from the top to the bottom, from the rooter to the tutor. That would be my prayer in this situation. That you go through, you have the experience, you ride all the rides at the fair, and it doesn't break you. You don't lose yourself. And if your goal is to stay rooted, and your goal is to help others heal and to heal yourself, and your goal is to experience a shift in this reality that is not just inclusive of trans people who follow the script or show up in the way that they're expected to show up, but for queer people, indigenous people, black people, poor people who don't subscribe, who just trying to live. Like hopefully their work and what they contribute to society will not be rooted in, you know, what all this other stuff has been rooted in. Because again, you know, it's like they're gearing us all up to be these girls that was on Pose. And you have to really think about the premise of Pose. Pose was powerful art for the black trans community, for the black queer community. Pose was powerful art. But the name of the show was Pose. To pose as, to pretend. You know how they say, the children say you're a poser. Or you ain't really who you a poser. So like the metaphorical and it was a lot of posing that was going on in the series. Very, very good. I enjoyed it. I loved the show, but let's hold space for it was a lot of posing happening. A lot of people that weren't really that, pretending to be that. And trans people being groomed to accept the Christian religion, to elevate a practice where you are destined to finish last, unless you transition into be a man. Unless you're transitioning to be a man. It's diabolical. Yeah, yeah. That's a lot to mentally process from a prison cell for years to a luxury mansion child. That's a shock to the nervous system. That's true. To mimic the Mayo art and culture. Because at the end of the day, that's what a lot of black people are doing. Black people are not worried about. I was watching this video the other day where this man said, he said, wait, I love this video. I want to share it. I'm gonna play it. And I'm gonna close out with this video because I gotta use the bathroom chair.
Create humans. Getting ready to play devil's advocate. Another reason why people may question the why of queerness is we are animals, and animals want to push their DNA into the future. Could that be part of our struggle as well?
I don't think so, and I'm gonna tell you why. I do think, of course, recreation is procreation is important. Of course, we all, there's no future without it, right? But the thing that I think is extremely important for us when we start dealing with that is some people are sent. All of us are sent to the planet to procreate. Just all of us are not sent to procreate humans. Some people are sent to procreate ideas, right? A community with no ideas is going to die sooner than a community full of children, right? Some of us were sent here to create art, so the rest of us would not forget who we are.
Amen.
Because see, if procreation was that important, Jesus would have had to have at least one child. But Jesus did procreate something, but it wasn't a person.
And when this comes to mind, because Oprah Winfrey doesn't have any children that we know of. And look at how much she has impacted this world. She's become a model for not only Black women, but women altogether. Like, she's a model, and her legacy will live if this world doesn't all implode and, it doesn't fall apart. Her legacy will live at least a century after she's gone. People are going to be talking about Oprah for sure at least 50 years after she's gone. Now, they say Tyler Perry have a child, but we don't really get a lot of information around that. Tyler Perry isn't known for being a father, but Tyler Perry's legacy is going to outlive him because they create art that shapes culture, that molds people, that helps people to find themselves and see who they want to be and see how they want to show up. And so a society without culture, a society without artists, a society without storytellers is a society that's going to die anyway, because people don't have models. Art shapes life. It imitates life and it shapes life. And so everybody is not born to physically bring walking and talking human beings here. Some people are born and experience life so that you can learn from their journey, learn from their struggles, learn from their wins and also their losses, their perceivable wins and losses. Because even when I'm in a season of doing things that other people, that might not make sense to other people, things are being revealed to me in that season. I am thankful for what happened this past week, because it helped me to take an inventory of myself, and it showed me how I need to move differently. And I know that I've grown, because the old me would have got on this live and drug her. The old me would have got on this live and said her name. But the reason why I'm doing, and I would have said other things, but the only reason why I'm doing this video is to hold myself accountable and to talk about how I need to grow, and also to document this moment so that if it ever comes up again, I can say that I did publicly address it. But the old me would not have had this much class about it, would not have had this much tact about it. So I'm not who I aspire to be. And I'm a little bit afraid of that person because I know that that person, as Ronald said when Ronald came on the live earlier, he said that I was miserable. I really don't think it was a man. I think it was a girl. But I think but what he said about me, saying that I was miserable and I was bitter and I was happy over a girl being positive, like this is exactly why I made this video, because people try to villainize me based off of isolated incidents. Like, even if that was true, even if I did get happy over hearing a girl was positive, I'm sure it was more to the story. Like, even in a world where I was happy, which I know I wasn't, I've never been happy over a girl being positive. But if in some world that was real, it was probably a girl who wished negativity on me, wished harm on me, and people are never going to play their side of the tape. Because most of the time when I'm upset with somebody or I'm bothered with them or I have energy towards them, it's because of something that they've done to me. But nobody cares about what they've done to me. And that's another thing that's important in this video. A lot of people have a tendency of trying to make everybody safe but me. And I get it. A lot of y'all feel like because I'm spiritually in tune that I'm just supposed to take the high road. Y'all, a lot of times people expect me to be the bigger person. And I'm letting you know that as I heal and as I put down these old defaults, a lot of y'all are not going to like me because y'all expect for me to be the mammy archetype. Y'all expect for me to be in the kitchen just the cookings and the cleanings and trying to make sure that you's owes the KB. And I'm supposed to take a back seat, and I'm supposed to be quiet, and I'm supposed to fade into the background. Now, let's be clear. I know who I am. I am an elder. I am a mother. I am a father. I am a mother father. I am a whole one. I am a oracle. I am a guide. And so I do like caring for people. I do like cooking hot meals for people. I do like nurturing people and encouraging people. I don't need to be in front of the camera. I don't need to be the star of the show. I'm more than happy with nurturing other people to shine. That is my role. But because I am fine with that, because that's who I'm happy with being, don't think that you're about to take me for granted in that space and you about to play in my face and look and be like, oh, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to mother us. You're supposed to care for us. You're supposed to do it. I don't owe nobody shit. I do it because it's what's in my heart to do. And don't ever think that you're going to play in my face because I'm happy playing the background. I'm happy being the background to the future's foreground. I'm happy sitting on the sidelines and rooting for you. Because I'm happy in that space, don't take that for granted and think you about to play in my face. And a lot of y'all get that twisted. You think that because I don't want to walk the ball and win for face, I don't want to be the CEO of a company, I don't want to be a philanthropist or a billionaire, like, because I don't have those aspirations, but I do have aspirations to nurture people who may have those goals. Y'all think that because I would rather teach and guide than actually do some of those things, y'all think that y'all finna typecast me and y'all about to take me for granted and keep me in the background, and I'm just supposed to be biting my tongue and I'm just supposed to be the mammy, the happy mammy. You got me fucked up. I'm not a main character energy type person. I don't need to be the main character. I believe in collectives. I believe in collectively working together. I believe in sharing the space. Somebody asked me for some pictures of me last night, and legitimately, if you were to scroll through my phone, the only pictures that I have is pictures. I got like 3 pictures in my phone, recent pictures of me by myself. And I have face paint on. I'm not in this space anymore of where I even want to take pictures solo or where I just be sitting around taking selfies. I'm not in that space anymore. I like to be in pictures with other people. I don't always have to be in the middle in the picture. I don't have to be the lead singer. I am perfectly fine with being in a group, with being in a collective. I don't need to be centered. I need to be around people who are being centered. I need to be in a space where we are being centered, not me. And a lot of y'all belong to the tribe of me and not the tribe of we. And when you try to make me look like I got main character energy, you really projecting, because that's who the fuck you really are. You want to be the main character. You want it to be about you. And that's why you don't like me, because I'm anti that. But I do operate at a certain standard. Like Pray Tell said when they tried to do the intervention, before you try to read my pedigree, make sure you got your shit together. And that's that on that. That's pretty much it. But I timed this perfectly. Make sure a couple of more of y'all click that thumbs up, because a lot of y'all been on here monitoring the whole time. I've stayed at the same number, yet I only have that many likes. What's that, Tia Bell? You're monitoring spirits? Anyway, I have a spa day today, because my intuitive counselor got me 2 sessions for a spa day. And so I have a spa day today. I'm utilizing one of the vouchers for my spa day today. And the reason why I've waited to do this spa day is because I wanted to wait until I was really ready to shift from maneuvering the way that I've been maneuvering. I want this to be a baptism, as you will. I want this to be a cleansing, a purging. I want to go to the water, and I want to shift. I want to get out of that water, and I want to use this as a moment to wash away, to release, to recalibrate my nervous system. And so I'm gonna go here today, and then my goal is to take a week and to monitor myself. To I wanna stop drinking so many sugar drinks. Want to leave that coffee alone. I am gonna eat meat. I'm gonna eat smaller portions though. I'm gonna eat smaller portions of meat, because I'm not having sex, and I'm about to, remove the self-medicating. I'm about to remove that, and scrolling and being on the internet. Like, there are things that I want out of my life. Like, I don't want to be just scrolling on the internet. I don't want to always be on the internet. I don't want to be eating big ass plates of food. I don't want to be drinking a lot of sugary drinks. I don't want to be doing sniffing. I don't want to be smoking weed. Like, I'm gonna give myself a puff today. I'm gonna have a puff today, but I want to let that go. And so, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give myself some grace today. But after I go to the thing, that's my goal, to not do the sniffy stuff, um, to not drink, um, to stop drinking like really really sugary drinks, to stay away from all that bread. Um, yeah, just to become more present and to pay more attention to my body, to pay more attention to myself, to take better care of myself. And so today is Wednesday. I'm gonna come back on Wednesday and tell y'all how that worked out. And I'm gonna do me another spa day. And then and that's what I'll do. I'll do like weekly updates. And when the weekly updates stop, that means maybe I started back, or maybe it means, bitch, I don't feel like I need to tell y'all that. But that's what I'm gonna hold myself to. I'm gonna hold myself accountable to be able to come on Wednesday. I'm gonna come on every Wednesday morning, and I'm gonna let y'all know, girl, has she been doing the sniffy stuff? Girl, has she been drinking? Girl, and I was supposed to be hanging out with somebody this weekend, and it probably was gonna be some. It was probably gonna be giving some of that, but I'm gonna go ahead and say no, because now I already said it publicly. So now it's gonna be no. It's gonna be. Maybe they'll see this video and they'll already know it's now. So yeah, I need to get myself together. I need to hold myself accountable. I need to have more discipline for myself, because the people that I want to come into my space this year, this cycle, the people that I want to share space with, the people that I want to work with, the people that I want to collaborate with, again, I don't want them to see me as the sniffy girl. There's nothing wrong with being a sniffy girl. Let's be clear. It's nothing wrong with being a sniffy girl. It's nothing wrong with being a girl who likes to put something in a bowl, girl, and smoke it, girl. I am not yucking your yum. I'm just saying, because of the aspirations that I have and the things that I want to accomplish, that is not how I want to commune with people. That is not what I want my fellowship to look like. That is not what I want my networking to look like. Yeah, that's not what I want the foundation of sharing space to look like. I'm a Gemini. I'm open to things. I like to try things. I like to commune. That is very much my spirit. That's very much my energy. I'm a communal person. But I want to experience something different in this cycle. And the change, as I said, when I first started doing this content, I used to call it New Legacy. It's not too late for change. And the change begins with you. So, I want to look in different mirrors in this season of my life. I want to see different reflections looking back at me. I'm thankful again for Nadia. That is the first part of, having different reflections looking back at me, and letting me know, that is possible. You know what I'm saying? Amen, a woman. So yeah, that's what I want. So I want to honor that. I want to, honor, yes, TS Turbo. And so I want to honor that. I want to honor, all of my sisters. And I still want to be able to share space, and be in community. I want to be in community with the sniffy girls. I want to be in community with the smoke girls. I want to be in community with the alcohol girls. I want to be in community with the girls who like to eat, the girls who like to eat a big old plate of food, the girls who like to eat old slab of ribs. I want to be in community. I want to be able to be in community with all the girls, but I have to find my balance so that your norm doesn't become my norm. I need to be able to share space with girls who are doing all manner of things and people who are doing all manner of things and not let that dictate my reality. And so I need to discipline myself because everybody's not meant to be communed with in that way. I want to have different ways of communing with people. I want to be able to share space with people and let them be where they at. Like, girl, don't think because I'm going to be on my no sniffy journey, or I'm going to be on my no drinking journey, or I'm going to be on my potless journey, that you can't, smoke your weed. You can't do your. That's another thing I love about being around Anadia. You know, she models that. Girl, do what you need to do. And girl, while you are giving what you giving, girl, I'm gonna be over here eating this bowl of egg fried rice. I'm gonna be over here drinking this grape juice. I'm going to be over here drinking a bubble tea. I'm going to be over here enjoying this fresh slice of cake. This veggie chicken sandwich and these air fried tater tots. I'm going to be working on this eggplant lasagna. Girl, I'm not judging you, girl. Get your life, girl. Have your fun, girl. Do what you need to do, girl. Do what you need to do, girl. You need to do, girl. Feel it, girl. Feel it. Feel it. She said, put my business out. Girl, feel it, girl. Get your life, girl. Get your life, girl. Get your tits, girl. Get your tits. Let me stop. But yeah, so and that's and I could really honestly say we can always learn from each other. And I just want to say I'm learning from you, Anadia, Purple Prodigy, in that way. That I don't have to be on your level in that way to share space with you. I don't have to connect with you on that level. And I think in the past I would do certain things because I didn't want people to feel like I thought I was better than them. But at the end of the day, that's your stuff. That's not mine. If you feel like I'm judging you or you feel like I'm putting you down because I'm just not engaging right now, that's something you need to work out with your therapist. Amen, amen. That's something you need to work out with your intuitive counselor. Anyway, let me go and check on these dogs and fix me some breakfast and see where Anadia put this food at. Chill. But I love y'all. Let me light a candle. The candle is lit. We're honoring. I'm so thankful to be in this place where I could like be transparent like this, where I could share, where I could be honest, where I could, like I'm so thankful for this platform. I'm thankful to I'm thankful for how I was able to respond to the negative comments that were said to me during this live. I want people to understand that I'm not trying to be um I'm not trying to be Jesus. I'm not trying to be Mahatma Gandhi. I'm not trying to be um this idea, your idea of spirituality, your idea of a good person. I'm not trying to be that. I'm not trying to live up to your expectations because a lot of y'all living in Disney World. I know that as I begin this journey of, you know, letting those things go, I know that I'm probably going to be a more stern person, a more disciplined person, and a person who deals in a lot more logic. And sometimes logic can seem insensitive. to people who are very sensitive and people who wear their emotions on their sleeves and people who are not grounded in reality. It can seem heartless. It can seem like you don't care. It can seem like you're detached. I expect, people are gonna see that from me because I'm gonna be caring for me and taking care of me, and then taking care of me and making sure that I'm good so that I can model something healthy and harmonious for other people. Some people who are in different places of their journey, they're going to look at me and they're going to feel away. It's going to be triggering for them because it's going to force them to really do some personal inventory. And rather than doing that work, they're going to do like they did today. They're going to come in my comment section and try to project onto me because it's an uncomfortable conversation rather than talking about you and your growth. Like for anyone who comes in the comment section and they like, whenever you start off a conversation with you and you did this and you did that, that tells where you are in your journey. Oh, you did and you said and what you did and how you said it and you did this and baby, when you really doing the work, you're going to be able to talk about how you got to your assumption of me by taking a moment from your life and saying, you know, the reason why I see this and I feel this way about you is because at one time I did, I said, and this is what I did. So when you can talk about you, when you can hold space for your growth and how you're learning and how you're healing and how you evolved and how you're expanding in consciousness, where you could take accountability for your actions, then people will receive from you. But when you come in the comment section talking about something you said and you did and you this and you that, that's telling who you are. If you can't start off the conversation with saying, I feel this way because I've been there, I'm speaking from experience. If you can't do that, you're not doing the work. So you don't have the credentials. You don't have the spiritual credentials. You're not in a space to come for me. Because one last night I was talking to one of my sisters and she was challenging me to do better with my financial literacy. And what she said, because I'm on that journey now. I'm on that journey right now. That's where I am. I am working on my financial literacy and I'm trying to do better with my financial literacy. So she literally she said, sister, she challenged me to do better with my financial literacy. And she said, I'm actively on that journey now. So she spoke in a way that acknowledged that, hey, the reason why I'm able to say this to you is because this is something that I'm actively working on. So I see you struggling. I see you having challenges, and I've had challenges, maybe not to the level of your challenges, but I was able to receive that. I told her, like, I want her to help me with that because I can receive from people. You always know a person's intentions when they say something to you by how they deliver it. And so if they did, so whoever Ronald was, when Ronald came on here, you saw the intent. The intent was to derail the conversation. The intent was to try to put me down because maybe if you're not the person who I think you are, you're close with that person. And so you were being a stand. You had your own agenda. You had your own agenda. And you thought that you was going to get me to get out of pocket with you. But I laughed at you because the way that you delivered it said more about you than me. I guarantee you, if I was to meet you right now and hang around you right now, you're the one that's miserable and bitter. You're the one that's unhappy. You're the one that has a negative assumption about people based off of old reactions. Like you said, I'm sure you're worse now. That's your ideas about people. You one of those when they show you who they are, believe them. Ma'am, I showed you a part of who I was. I showed you a layer. There's no way in the world I could show you who I am in one visit. You meet me one time and you know who I am based off of that one experience. You don't know what I was going through when you met me. I could have just lost a loved one. I could have just came home from prison. I could be kicking a habit. I could just got out of a bad relationship. You don't know where I'm at. You meet people in different spaces and different phases of their life, and you don't know what a person is going through at that time. You don't know what's going on. I could have just tested positive. You don't know what's going on in my life for you to meet the version of me that you met. So I will never say when a person shows you who they are, believe them, because you're meeting a version of that person. I could have been in a depression. Postpartum. You don't know what a person going through. Talking about when they show you who they are, believe them. You have to consistently show me though. I'm not just finna toss you to the side. Yeah, a lot of y'all are misconstruing what Maya Angelou meant when she said that. Anyway, 11:11, huh? Okay. Halflings assume based off of one look and interaction and forget we come with layers and a universe. Exactly, a universe within a universe. Well, let me go in because I got to use the bathroom. Um, we light this candle in honor of the ancestors who are enduring genocide, who are thoughtlessly being removed from their physical vessels and are transitioning back into the ether, the cosmos, the celestial plane. We acknowledge their struggle, their battle. We acknowledge their suffering. We acknowledge how the planet is suffering. We acknowledge how we are being indoctrinated and how we are losing memory and brain cells because we are being railroaded and indoctrinated in this social media wave to become detached and disconnected from truth and wholeness and healing. And a lot of us are caught up in assimilation, quicksand, and we're only able to process and have capacity for half truths. And then when we get that more messy, more complicated, more complex version of the story, we just don't have the capacity or the range to process that. And so I'm asking for grace for that for people. I'm asking for peace. I'm asking for understanding. I'm asking for joy. I'm asking for discipline. I'm asking for focus. I'm asking for patience, for compassion, for empathy, just more of it in this world. I'm asking that you restore the gifts of our wisest, most magical ancestors. And I'm asking that we be ready and we be responsible with those gifts when we become active and activated. All these blessings we ask in the name, and I want to add this, and so that the suffering of those who are experiencing the genocide and who are experiencing these trials and tribulations is not in vain. Amen and woman. All these blessings we ask and all these gifts and all these offerings that we ask in the name of all those ancestors who have been erased from history, to the ancestors who never subscribed to any of this, never wanted any of this. I speak to your being and I thank you for living and moving through me and my loved ones and my tribe. Thank you, God Goddess. Amen. And woman, Lelim Lelar. This candle represents the past, the present, and the future. As I blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with intensity on the spiritual plane, preparing us for times that are now. Ashe, love y'all, purple ones. Rise.